Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Health Reversion. You're here with Adrian, and in this episode we're going to take a deeper look into vitamin B2, otherwise known as riboflavin. We're going to be looking at what its role is within the body, any signs of toxicity, deficiency, the whole food sources, so not supplements but whole food sources, and stay through to the end for the tips on cooking and preparation, because there are some implications around the cooking of vitamin B2. Riboflavin, or B2, helps you to utilize the carbohydrates, proteins and fats that you consume, and it will help to extract the energy from those macronutrients. B2 plays a significant role in the maintenance of the skin and mucous membranes, as well as red blood cell production. The recommended daily value or daily allowance or daily intake is sitting at around the 1.1 milligram mark. So it's very similar to vitamin B1. And that's for a garden variety, sort of stress-free person. If you are experiencing significant physical stress, emotional stress, or if you're breastfeeding, then you're looking at the upper tolerance, which is 1.4 milligrams each day. The following whole foods contain the highest levels of vitamin B2 and include 1 6-ounce or 170 gram steak contains 1.5 milligrams. So that's your recommended daily intake taken care of there. Next up is milk, so a 16-ounce or 473 milliliter serving, so just under half a litre, will provide 0.9 milligrams. So you're looking there at about the 80-85% mark of your recommended daily intake. Up next is salmon, so 1 6-ounce or 170 gram fillet, so just the same as the beef, same serving size, but that comes in a little bit lower at 0.8 milligrams. So you'll be looking at about 75 to 80% of your total daily requirement there. So far it's just been animal products, so the highest plant-based source of vitamin B2 can be found in edamame, so soybeans. So 1 cup contains 0.3 milligrams. So this is going to be approximately 25 to 27% of your recommended daily intake. In relation to toxicity, given that vitamin B2 is a water-soluble vitamin, if your intake is very high or if you're supplementing with B2 and the body cannot utilize the amounts, it will simply excrete it through the urine. And a good telltale sign for this is very bright yellow urine would be a sign that, hey, you're having too much of the B2 if you are supplementing, and this is your body saying, we're having to excrete most of it, we're not utilizing it, and that can be your heads up. In relation to deficiency, without riboflavin, without the adequate levels of vitamin B2, your body is going to struggle to extract the energy from the foods that you eat. Riboflavin is essential for vitamin B3 and vitamin B6 to carry out their roles in the body. So it's kind of like almost a codependent relationship. They need each other in order to function and operate properly within the body. So having adequate levels of vitamin B2 is going to ensure that B3 and B6 get to do their job properly in the body. A deficiency in riboflavin can lead to a cracking and a reddening of the lips, inflammation of the mouth or mouth ulcers. You may even experience a persistent sore throat and even anemia, which is a deficiency in iron. So we're at the tail end of the episode now, where we're just going to cover a few of the unique characteristics of riboflavin and particularly around how to ensure that you store it properly and also in relation to cooking. Now, riboflavin is sensitive to light. So if you're storing, for instance, milk, you can see in the supermarkets that they use opaque bottles or even cartons that don't let a lot of light in. So that's the reason for that particular type of packaging, to ensure that the riboflavin levels maintained in the product. But another thing here to observe, and that I've come across in my research, is that if somebody's exposed to the sun more than average, so for instance it could be a tradie or a bricklayer or a builder of some description, and they're getting lots of sun, it may serve them to be cognizant of ensuring that they are getting their adequate levels, as these levels may dwindle or be drawn upon with that exposure or that excessive exposure to sunlight. And finally, in relation to cooking, just keeping in mind that riboflavin is going to be depleted, unfortunately, when it's exposed to long cooking times and high cooking temperatures. So if you are going to look at, for instance, having the meat or the salmon, looking at options possibly to bake rather than pan fry. But if you do pan fry, and you've got those juices coming out and you can see those liquids there at the end, maintaining those liquids. So keeping those liquids on maybe the vegetables that you're having with it, trying to maintain those juices, because the B vitamins will leach out of the meat, will leach out of the vegetables into any solvent, such as the water that you're using to cook it in. And so seeing how you can retain any of those liquids that you're using or that have been excreted during the cooking process. That's it for today. If you got something out of this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithms and helping other people to get this information. Keep a lookout for the next episode on the range of B vitamins. Until then, I ask that you keep well, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.